Okay, let's talk about bunker shots. And let's talk about specifically how we use our wrists throughout the backswing and the downswing. This is really, really important. Now, if we go over the basics of how to set up to the ball, I'm going to have my feet roughly same as far as my shoulders. So they're going to be fairly wide, certainly much wider than a chip shot. The ball position is going to be just inside my left heel. So I'm getting it up here. I'm going to have my knees angled towards the target. So I'm leaning across. I'm trying to get my sternum, so the middle of my chest, to be roughly in line with the golf ball. From there, I'm going to have the shaft about in line with the ball. So the gripping end of the club's in line with the ball. And the club head is slightly open. I don't need to be open with my stance. So I'm just going to go pretty square with that one. Now, the swing itself, how do we do this? So, on the backswing, I'm going to hinge very early, and then on the way down, what I need to do is I need to release that hinge. So what I mean by that is I need to get the feeling that as I come into impact, the club head is overtaking my hands and coming out on the other side like this. What we don't want is the hands to be leading the club head. If my hands lead the club head as I come into impact, I lose all the bounce from the sole of my club, and the leading edge is the part of the club head that makes contact with the sand first, and it tends to dig in. So this is quite an interesting one really, because you think when you're hitting a full shot, everybody is trying to get the shaft leaning forwards. We're trying to get the hands in front of that club head as we make contact, because that way you de-loft the club slightly, you get maximum power, happy days. The bunker shot is the complete opposite going through the ball, and I think this is why so many people struggle with their bunker play. Rather than that at impact, I'm actually trying to feel like it's like this. I'm trying to feel like the club head is overtaking my hands. So my right wrist goes that way as it goes past the ball. It's that way as opposed to that way. My fingers are overtaking my wrist as I go through. That way, I can get lots and lots of loft on the club, and I can use all the bounce on the sole. So notice when I come through, my wrists are like this. I'm not like that, which is what I see so many golfers doing. It's funny actually. I would say some of the better ball strikers that I teach are actually some of the worst bunker players. Particularly if they don't get much of a chance to practice their bunker play, because, like I say, with their full shots, they're really good at getting the handle angled forwards, de-lofting the club, lots of power, quality strike, compression, all that good stuff. With a bunker shot, we don't want that, So I've got the ball almost in line with my left heel, got my weight on my left leg, a little bit of loft on the club, and I'm trying to almost feel like I'm throwing the club head at the ball on the way down. It's coming through that way. So if you look at me from here, that's the way that club head comes through. So it looks like there's lots of loft on it, no rolling. It's this way here. My right hand is overtaking my left hand quickly. If you can learn to do that, if you can learn to set up well and learn to do this as you go past the ball, I reckon you've got a really good chance of being a good bunker player.